Thank you for listening to 1252 Sports Chicago.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to what is this? The tip-off tournament.
It's the NCAA tournament. It's probably my second most favorite day for watching TV for sports in the calendar year.
Yes. Listen, I'm born in March, so like every time the NCAA tournament kicks off, I'm super pumped up about it. I love it. I got my birthday is in less than 10 days away, and I cannot wait to talk NCAA tournament.
You're an Aries.
I'm getting old. Yeah.
Are you an Aries?
Yes, I am.
I have no idea what that means.
Me neither. I don't understand astrology either. But yeah, we're here. We're talking sports, guys. We got the games going live right now. We got Colorado State beating up on Michigan, and we got Providence up by 2 right now on South Dakota State. It's a lot of fun here. We're down here at Game Time Bar and Grill down in Homer Glen, 15301 South Bell Road. We're going to be here all day, sitting here, hanging out, drinking, eating a bunch of food. We got a bunch of raffles going on, Dave. We got a 50-50 raffle. We're also raffling off a QB54 game. We got a ton of stuff going on down here, but most of all,
we got us.
Exactly. We got us here. We're going to be hanging out, drinking beers with all you guys, having a fun time. So make sure you guys come on down. We're going to be off and on live the entire day. Right now, I thought this game would be a lot closer, Dave. I really do. We're starting to go in the half. Colorado State is up 36-29.
They were up by as many as 15.
Yes.
So a little bit of credit to Michigan. By the way, Michigan will not win this game.
No, I don't think so either.
A little bit of credit that they at least cut it down to 7 here at halftime. But they're the second best team on this court today.
Right. Colorado State is a big team. They hit their threes. They're very fast, and they get off the ball quick. And Dave, you're a big basketball guy. A lot of people that watch the show know that I don't talk a lot of basketball. But what does it mean when I say that they get off the ball quick? To explain to our guys that, basketball, our football, our baseball, our hockey guys, what does getting off the ball mean?
Well, first of all, do you mean offensively or defensively?
Offensively.
Well, normally it means that they get their shots off quick.
Right.
That's the first thing. And I was watching it, and I'm not really that familiar with Colorado State,
right.
I'll be honest with you. But I know that they have a lot of three-point shooters.
Yes.
So when you say they get their shots off quickly, Steph Curry is the ultimate getting his shot off quickly. You can't block his shot. First of all, he's shooting from 35 feet sometimes, and you don't think the ball's going to go in, but with him it does. By the way, he got hurt in last night's game.
Yeah, we've seen that earlier.
We'll talk about that later, but he gets his shot off very quickly. Trae Young, who plays down in Atlanta, he gets his shot off quickly. Zach LaVine gets his shot off quickly in a lot of ways. Other guys are more methodical, so they don't get their shot off quickly. So I think that's what you're referring to.
Right, yeah. There's certain teams in this tournament here that I think that can really pull some strings and really do a lot of damage. A lot of these lower-ranked teams can really create a lot of chaos in this NCAA tournament, and Colorado State is one of them for sure.
Well, yeah, and the case in point, because you were the one who even told me that they have really good three-point shooters.
Yes.
If you have a host of three-point shooters who are all on their game at one time,
you're
going to win that game.
You can't stop it right now. And like we were sitting here watching this before we went live here, guys. We're sitting here, we're watching this, and I was like, Dave, these guys can fucking shoot them, man. They can chuck them. And for example, you sit there like, holy shit. Like 3 different guys hit 3 different three-pointers.
Right.
And now it just goes to show that Colorado State's up so big at the half.
It's the great equalizer in today's modern basketball, the three-point shot, obviously, even more so in college because it's not as long as the NBA. But again, if you got a bunch of guys who get hot from the outside and you don't guard the three-point line like a lot of teams don't do, even if you have inferior overall talent, but you have good shooters who are on their games, you're going to pull off the upset.
So let's take away here. So we're at the half here. We got Pravi. We got Colorado State, Michigan in the half. We got Pravi and going on right now. And we're just hanging out right now. A lot of other stuff going on here in Chicago sports, Dave. We seen Chris Bryant sign yesterday with the Rockies.
Good for him.
We seen Rizzo sign with the Yankees. Obviously, Javi was already signed by the Tigers.
And Schwarber with the Phillies.
So a lot of big things going on here in Chicago baseball aspect of things. The White Sox are making a little bit of moves, bolstering their bullpen a little bit. Now, I know that you're in touch with both teams here. How do you feel? This is just me. All right, now
I'm going to hurt your Cub feelings.
No,
in a
listen.
minute.
I know the Cubs suck. I get it.
Well, they don't suck, but they're not going to win anything.
They suck. The over under 75 games, and I'm taking 73.
Actually, Pacoda, I think that's what they call themselves. It's a computer service.
Yes.
And they had them at 70.
Okay.
I think they're going to surpass 70.
I think 73 is my over under on the year. That's where I would put them as a secure 73 wins. But all that aside, I want to talk about the White Sox here a little bit. You know I'm a diehard Cub fan. I'm sitting here wearing the hat, sitting here doing my thing. The White Sox, one move that I loved they made was going out and grabbing Joe Kelly.
Okay.
All right, now I know he's coming off of surgery, but he just has that South Side that South Side mentality where he's a shit talker, and backs it up at the same time.
And also will pitch inside the plate and dust you up, up and in. So, yeah, he's got that both on and off the field. I do like Joe Kelly a lot. And he was really good with the Dodgers, minus whatever injury. And he's had a really good career to this point. And he just adds to that bullpen. Right. The White Sox bullpen, we're not even talking about Craig Kimbrell. He might even start the season with them. I'm not really sure. That bullpen is loaded.
Yes.
Okay. And especially in this season, it's very important early on to have a loaded bullpen because the starters are not going to get the normal workload in spring training because of the lesser amount of games that they're playing out there. So you're really going to rely, and Tony La Russa does that anyway. He relies on his bullpen, until the starters get their legs underneath them or their arms get together, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, the bullpen is really good. And I go back to when the Kansas City Royals, and I don't know what year, I'm terrible on years, about 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago, whatever it was. When the Royals, again, I'm terrible on years, we can look it up. But when the Royals won the World Series, whatever that was, their bullpen was lights out.
Yes.
Lights out.
Wade Davis, they had a bunch of guys in that bullpen.
Yes. And that's why if you have a lockdown bullpen, and bullpens change year to year, that's part of baseball also. But if the White Sox have all these guys pitching well, much like three-pointers shooting well at the same time, takes the pressure off the starters, takes pressure off the offense also. Yeah, this is a strong point. Now, Tony La Russa is going to drive me, as well as a lot of other people, crazy because he's going to go in and out, in and out, in and out with all these relievers. But, again, that's a strong point, and Kelly just adds to that.
So last year we saw in the playoffs the White Sox completely shit the bed when it came to their starters. They couldn't get past the fourth inning. They were not good.
Yeah.
They were not good. Do you think the White Sox need another starter in this rotation here that can possibly be legitimate ace? And I know there's rumors going out there with Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea out of Oakland. There's a lot of rumors.
You got to give up something because those are trade people. You're not.
But those guys aren't. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, though. Those guys aren't at their cap right now. They aren't they're not superstar mentality now. They're not superstars yet. They're on the cusp of it. Right, those guys. Do you think that they can land one of those guys from the Oakland A's and make them a legitimate pitching?
Sure, you're going to have to give up something to get something. It just goes without saying. I mean, I heard Jake Berger's name being mentioned. Let's face it, he's got no place to play on the White Sox going forward. So he's a definite trade piece for the White Sox. Listen, Kelly himself could be a spot starter himself. He's done that in the past. They picked up this guy Vasquez. He's been a spot starter also. So I don't think they're going after any big names. That's just my educated guess on that. But you never have enough pitching. Right. And Kopech is a question. How many innings are you going to want to have him, especially coming off the injuries that he's had over the last few years? Dallas Keuchel took a big step backwards.
Yes.
But off the field, he took a big step forward because he married Kelly Nash. A 12.
Going to Pound Town. Dallas Keuchel going to Pound Town.
And Lance Lynn, you're never sure about Lance Lynn either. I mean, honestly, it's too bad that they had to give up Rodon. They were never going to sign him.
Yeah, but Rodon,
too much money, and he's hurt on and off also.
Fucking all the time. He's hurt all the time.
But when he's on, he was. I mean, last year, the first season,
half,
oh my
he was
God,
awesome.
He
was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was.
That second half, though, I mean, come on.
Same old.
And if you revert back to his previous years, Dave, he was always hurt. There was always something wrong with Carlos Rodon.
Dylan Cease needs to take a step forward. Dylan Cease has probably got the best stuff of everybody.
I seriously, yes,
he does.
I agree 100%.
But he's got to get his bugaboo has been his control. There's a lot of times he's 100 pitches in the 4th or 5th inning. Sorry, that just doesn't work in baseball.
Right.
It puts too much pressure on your bullpen. So Dylan Cease was the minor league pitcher of all baseball a couple of years ago. I think he's got the talent to transform that into the major leagues also. Time will tell. Giolito also, when he's on, he's great. When he's not, he also has control problems. So in spite of having all these pitchers, there's a lot of, ifs.
Right.
If is the biggest word in baseball.
Right.
If. So that's the deal.
I'm glad you brought up Dylan Cease because he's the one pitcher that out of the White Sox staff that I actually really do like. He has the most filthy stuff out of everybody that's on the staff. Eyes up.
They were.
Eyes up. As we're sitting here. Again, guys, we're over here at Game On Bar and Grill, 15301. Come join us. We're hanging out here. We're drinking. We're eating. Great food. Great staff.
It's St. Patty's Day. Come on out here. Have some fun.
Exactly.
This place is great. All the TVs we're watching. We even got wrestling, not the real kind of wrestling
Roman
in the
Greco.
corner. Yes.
Yeah, Roman Greco wrestling in the corner. We're having a great time up here.
Pickleball to the left.
Pickleball and basketball courts and the whole nine. But I'm glad that you brought up Dylan Cease because he's one of those guys, in my eyes anyways, has the most filthiest stuff on the White Sox staff. He just really has to hone it down. Now, he's great against the Tigers. He's great against the Indians. He's great against teams that suck. But he has to really reel this in here, take a breath when he's on the mound. I think, honestly, if he just took a breath, and I really mean that.
You think he's jumpy?
I do.
Okay.
I think he's a little skittish.
Okay.
I mean, especially against, I think that he thinks that this team's above 500. I gotta pitch my best when he should just go out there and do Dylan Cease.
Yeah, again, I just
the kid has fucking lights out stuff. Dave.
Yeah,
lights out stuff.
Yeah, he's very talented. Sometimes I'm not trying to pick on him. Sometimes guys just think too much. Okay, and maybe he's one of them. I don't really. Unfortunately, during the pandemic, once upon a time before the pandemic, I was able to go into the clubhouses, and by the way, that's returning this season. So we'll,
all right.
So we'll be able to talk to the players. But during the pandemic, the last couple of years, we weren't allowed in the clubhouses at all.
Right.
So we weren't able to get as close. So I don't really know Dylan Cease as well as I want to know him.
Right.
He came up the tail end right before the pandemic, so we got to talk to him a little bit. He's a pretty cool cat, but time will tell. We'll get to know these guys a little bit better.
Right. So, obviously the Sox are, again, one of those hot commodities on the year in MLB. A lot of people are going to be betting on these guys. They got a great team. They have, of course, Abreu, Moncada, Tim Anderson, so on and so Eloy Jimenez, so on and so forth. We got all these guys here in Chicago, here on the South Side. Do you think how do I phrase this question? Is there a way that you see the White Sox not winning the AL Central?
No, they're by far the most talented team. Minnesota, they surpassed Minnesota last season, and I don't think Minnesota's even as good this year as they were last year.
Right.
So, no, I mean, unless there's mass injuries on the White Sox, they should win this division handily. I mean, Detroit has been rebuilding. Kansas City's been rebuilding. So, and Cleveland is even rebuilding themselves.
Right.
So they're in a perfect spot in their division. Winning the division is nice. It's not the be-all, end-all.
Do you think, out of all the teams in the AL Central, which team could give the White Sox fits for the first place and winning the Central?
Well, I'll still say Minnesota, only because
Really?
Yeah, because they were the team to beat until the White Sox surpassed them last season. I don't think they've fallen off the ledge completely yet. They're not going into a rebuilding either. So the other three teams, hey, they'll get better in time. They will, but they're not there yet either. So the White Sox, I don't want to say cakewalk because that's
Right.
too much pressure,
Right.
but they should win this division.
The team in my eyes that can give the White Sox fit is the Tigers.
Okay, well, they're rebuilding, and it seems like they're doing the right things.
I mean, last year they were a team that that was a thorn in the White Sox pride. I mean, it was a thorn right in the side of the White Sox. They beat them a couple of times. Games the White Sox needed to win. They lost against the Tigers. Casey Mize, Miguel Cabrera, Torkelson, all these kids coming up for the Detroit Tigers could be a really big problem for the Tigers. could be a really big problem for the White Sox.
Well, and here's what the Tigers hired a new manager. I like him.
AJ Hinch.
They also hired I can't remember who it is, or vice president of general manager, whoever it is. So yeah, they have some good things going for them. But again, unlike some other sports where, like in basketball, you could get John Morant and all of a sudden you become really good.
Right, no
in
shit.
baseball, it takes time.
Yes,
it
does take time. It does take time. So, guys, that's our White Sox talk for right now. We're going to be back here in a little bit. We're going to watch the rest of these games. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk Cubs. We're going to talk a lot more basketball as Providence is up on South Dakota State 24-22. Oops, as I'm bumping stuff, being an idiot. And we're getting ready for the second half of Michigan and Colorado State. So we'll be back. You guys hang out. Take care. We're going to eat some food.
I was going to add this. And you might want to judge us each time we come back if we're like have a few less brain cells because the beer is flowing.
Yeah, the beer is flowing. Hey, come on. It's St. Patty's Day, boys. It's St. Patty's Day. So we'll be back and stay tuned, guys. We'll be back.